Hello everyone. Get ready for an amazing video showcasing military technology. You'll see impressive footage of tactical drills, tests of cutting-edge equipment, and incredible skills from military professionals. It's going to be both captivating and intense, so let's get it on. In this video, you'll see tests of a system that requires constant improvement because it's vital to human life. The ejection seat is a device designed to save the crew from an aircraft in emergency situations. Typically, the seat is propelled out of the plane using explosives or a rocket engine, carrying the pilot with it, followed by an automatic parachute deployment. Testing evacuation systems is a complex task because it requires simulating conditions at hypersonic speeds. One unique facility where you can run these kinds of tests is a high-speed test rail track. Ejection seats with dummies are mounted on sleds with rocket engines and accelerated to speeds comparable to those of fighter jets, several thousand kilometers per hour.
Green Bay, Roger, out.
Have you ever wondered how much a single shot from a naval gun costs? Some weapons in the US Navy's arsenal are impressive not just for their power, the price of firing them is also astonishing. Let's take a look at the costs of firing the weapons you see on the screen. Each bullet fired from a heavy machine gun costs $11. A shot from the Mark 45 artillery gun ranges from $1,500, depending on the type of ammunition used. Firing a round from a 25mm autocannon costs $70, and with the Mark 38's rate of fire at 175 rounds per minute, that adds up quickly. A mere 2-second burst from the Phalanx CIWS will cost the Navy $7,000. As for the cost of missiles, they are simply staggering. For instance, a single RAM-116 surface-to-air missile costs over $900,000. The cost of launching a guided Standard 3 missile, meant to intercept enemy ballistic missiles, is even more extreme: $11,800,000. No matter how advanced and precise a weapon is, it doesn't always perform flawlessly, especially during early trials. These images capture an unsuccessful launch of a mock-up Caliber cruise missile from a Russian frigate. Although this type of missile is capable of hitting surface targets up to 500 kilometers away, in this case, it veered off course and spiraled down into the sea. Sometimes even the military isn't fully aware of what their vessels can do. A prime example of this was the USS Buchanan during RIMPAC, the largest naval exercises in the world. This Charles F. Adams-class destroyer had served in the US Navy for nearly 30 years before being decommissioned in 1991. Using retired ships as targets is a common practice, and the USS Buchanan was selected for this purpose during the 2000 SYNCEX operation off the coast of Hawaii. Sailors from the US, Australia, and Canada all struggled to quickly complete the mission. The old ship endured an astounding amount of punishment. It remained afloat after being hit by 3 AGM-114 Hellfire missiles and 3 Harpoon anti-ship missiles. They then decided to use an 1,100-kilogram laser-guided bomb, but that too failed to sink the USS Buchanan. The next day after the attacks, a demolition team boarded the destroyer and placed 91 kilograms of plastic explosives on the stern. 16 minutes after the detonator was activated, the invincible veteran gracefully sank to the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. Now it's time to bring out the big guns. The Vladimirov heavy machine gun is a classic model that gained worldwide fame since the mid-20th century. This automatic weapon has numerous modifications, including tank, anti-aircraft, and naval versions. They can also be mounted on a technical. Here, you can watch the impressive sight of firing from the mounted version. For added effectiveness, the KPVT typically uses 14.5mm armor-piercing incendiary rounds. Shooting a massive 20mm Anzio rifle, which resembles an artillery piece in its specs, is an experience to behold. Among its various models, the largest one, the 2.5-meter long Anzio 20mm rifle, boasts an impressive effective range of up to 4,600 meters.
2, 1.
The Malaysian Army's Special Forces are performing a demonstration exercise. According to the scenario, criminals have taken a bus full of hostages. The troops stop the vehicle using special equipment and execute a lightning-fast assault, literally bursting through the bus windows. The level of professionalism is truly impressive. This is how the White Tiger Unit, an elite counter-terrorism group from the South Korean Army, is handling similar exercises. Elite military units often face unpredictable challenges, which is why their training includes handling unconventional scenarios. Right now, the 464th Marine Corps Helicopter Squadron is working on evacuating an F-35 fighter jet by helicopter. Once the Marines had the jet properly secured, a CH-53K King Stallion heavy lift helicopter took over to transport it. The footage shows not only the transport of the aircraft, but also includes an aerial refueling operation for the helicopter. By the way, the King Stallion has an impressive maximum range of over 800 kilometers without refueling. The CH-53K is one of the most powerful transport helicopters in the US Army. It can carry loads of up to 15.9 tons inside its fuselage and lifts 16.3 tons on the single center point cargo hook. This makes it more than capable of transporting a light tactical vehicle. The F-16 is one of the most iconic fighter jets in aviation history. It's enough to mention that it's used by 26 countries, and over 4,500 units have been produced so far. Now, you'll see how these fighting Falcons demonstrate afterburner effects around the world. Afterburner is a specific mode of operation for jet engines that temporarily boosts thrust. It can be used for takeoff, accelerating to supersonic speeds, or as part of maintenance procedures, such as testing the engine on the ground after a replacement. A big shout out to the mechanics who handle working so close to the intense flames. The average temperature in the afterburner is 1300 degrees Celsius, and the roar of the turbine is so loud that you could go deaf without ear protection. You'll now witness all the stages of a classic airborne operation, delivering special payloads behind enemy lines. This will be executed by soldiers from the 82nd Airborne Division, also known as the All-American Division, as part of a battalion training exercise at Pope Army Airfield in North Carolina. The Boeing C-17 Globemaster III is now fully loaded. This military transport aircraft, of which the US has over 200 in service, can carry up to 102 fully equipped soldiers. Static line jumps have been a traditional method of parachuting used by the US Army since the 1940s. Each soldier's yellow strap is attached to the parachute and secured with a carabiner connected to a taut cord inside the aircraft. Once the paratrooper makes the jump, the strap tightens and the parachute opens up. The only thing left for the paratrooper to do is to get ready for the landing. This method guarantees a coordinated and efficient deployment of troops on the ground. According to the instructions, once the parachute is deployed, the jumper detaches the backpack, which is secured by a cord. The backpack hits the ground first, reducing the jumper's overall weight and slowing its descent. The equipment carried by the trooper can weigh up to 50 kilograms. After landing, each paratrooper removes the harness, retrieves his rifle and magazine, and prepares for the tactical mission. Mid-air collisions are one of the biggest risks when parachuting. Fortunately, these paratroopers managed to land safely. A missile launched from the Russian S-400 Triumph system can achieve speeds of up to 4.8 kilometers per second and engage targets up to 380 kilometers away. The cost of one full battery is estimated to be about $200 million. An impressive demonstration of the US Navy's firepower. Sailors are training to defend against unmanned boat attacks using a barrage of shots from 25mm autocannons. For instance, the M242 Bushmaster is one of the most effective modern automatic guns globally. Since 1972, over 10,000 of these guns have been produced. A striking contrast. A powerful hovercraft appears out of nowhere, creating huge waves as it suddenly emerges right in the middle of a busy beach. If you think a catapult is just a relic from ancient history, you're only partly right. Modern engineers have given the idea a new life. But in today's era, catapults are electromagnetic. The system, known as EMALS, is designed to optimize and accelerate aircraft launches. In this video, you can see test launches of the device from the USS Gerald Ford. During testing, EMALS conducted 22 no-load runs, where the aircraft platform reached a staggering 333 kilometers per hour. This cutting-edge technology cost $676 million. Engineers estimate that the catapult, which is a linear motor, can accelerate a 45-ton aircraft to 240 kilometers per hour, a major improvement over the best steam-powered systems. And here's a pilot's POV of the catapult in action.
Oh yeah! Real good.
High mobility is a key focus in military tactics, which drives the development of powerful self-propelled weapon systems with mind-blowing firepower. Recent exercise videos reveal several Russian models: the Grad and Uragan artillery rocket systems, the Akatsiya self-propelled howitzer featuring guided projectiles, and the Salt-Sepyok MLRS with thermobaric ammunition. Impressive tests of remote-controlled mine-clearing vehicles show that modern technology in this category comes with search modules that include induction sensors and electromagnetic scanners to detect even remotely operated mines. One of the key skills for a sniper in a firing position is mastering the art of camouflage. A ghillie suit, a specialized piece of tactical clothing, allows the sniper to blend into the surrounding vegetation and terrain. Just look at the remarkable level of craftsmanship that manufacturers have achieved in producing these suits. Still, the responsibility for effective camouflage rests largely on the sniper, who must adapt the suit to the specific environment, often using grass, bushes, and other materials found on site. Soldiers from the South Korean Navy's Special Forces are engaged in knife combat training. These exercises not only teach silent takedowns of the enemies, but also focus on the physical and psychological conditioning of the soldier. Knife training sharpens their ability to act quickly and stay focused, essential qualities for dealing with maritime piracy and global security challenges. One interesting example of training for emergency situations used by the US Marine Corps is preparing for a helicopter crash into the water. In this scenario, soldiers must be ready to quickly evacuate from an underwater death trap. The simulator in the pool closely mimics the conditions of a submerged helicopter, and to enhance realism, the trainees even have their eyes covered. They must then quickly get their bearings, break the windows, and swim to the surface. Another stage involves training in single-man cages, where instructors teach Marines how to free themselves from the helicopter seatbelt in the event of a crash into the ocean. Check out this sleek passage through the waves. The US Navy destroyer DDG-105, also known as Dewey after the celebrated admiral, is cruising past an aircraft carrier with its nose diving deep into the water. In the video, US Air Force Special Ops drop a combat boat from a C-17 cargo aircraft before making their own parachute jump. The patrol boat shown in the video is a combatant craft medium, a cutting-edge tactical boat used for providing fire support, conducting infiltrations, and extracting special operations teams. Soldiers from the Dutch Royal Army demonstrate the prowess and agility of a tank that transforms an old car into a pancake. That's hardly surprising because the tank itself weighs about 60 tons. By the way, the Netherlands was the first Western European country to fully eliminate heavy armored vehicles, having retired all Leopard 2 tanks, including this model in 2011. Here we have a true legend, the Centurion medium tank. Its various versions formed the backbone of the British tank fleet from World War II until the mid-1960s. This charming veteran, a giant among amphibious vehicles, is the Lark LX cargo vehicle. Weighing in at 100 tons and with a crew of 5, it served in the US Army for nearly half a century. In emergencies, this amphibious truck could carry up to 100 tons of cargo or 120 troops, plus its cargo bay could easily accommodate an M60 main battle tank. The pilots are demonstrating exceptional skill as they perform the intricate aerial refueling of the V-22 Osprey. This military transport aircraft is unique as the only tilt-rotor aircraft in production. It can operate in both airplane and helicopter modes, thanks to its rotors that tilt nearly 98 degrees. Despite its relatively small size, with a fuselage under 18 meters long, the Osprey can handle over 5 tons of cargo, both internally and on external mounts. Aerial refueling carried out by Combat Talon II crew presents significant challenges, because even the slightest piloting mistake can lead to damage to the rotor blades or the refueling probe, especially considering that the rotor blade span of the tilt-rotor aircraft is over 25 meters. Nevertheless, the effectiveness of this operation has been proven in real-life missions. For example, a group of 6 Ospreys once completed a transcontinental flight with 2 refuelings from KC-130J Super Hercules tankers. The total flight distance was 4,500 kilometers.
Something dropped off.
Mistakes can happen in aviation too. It appears that there was an accidental fuel dump.
Oh, this bitch explode on my mama. Back the in. Oh,
you guys ran over it, bro.
Rapid deployment of pontoon bridges and crossings is a key task for military engineers worldwide. Modern military pontoon bridges can support loads ranging from 20 to 60 tons and span rivers more than 300 meters wide. Another advantage of these bridge systems is their versatility. The individual sections can also be used as floating ferries to transport military vehicles and equipment. A perfectly designed transport platform for tactical teams carrying out counter-terrorism missions. This vehicle can serve as both a protective shield and a remotely controlled robot. Being a sniper goes beyond just being a skilled marksman. It means being a fully independent tactical and combat unit. This is especially relevant for snipers who specialize in sabotage. These professionals usually work alone or with a partner, often deep into the enemy territory.
We want to be able to rest our head comfortably onto the rifle.
And conduct covert strikes aimed at taking out crucial targets, such as commanding officers or essential equipment, as well as carrying out tactical reconnaissance. Typically, a sniper's effective range starts at 500 meters and can extend further, based on the conditions and type of weapon. Essential skills for handling such tasks include adapting to extreme environmental conditions, setting up concealed firing positions and rest areas. Also, a sniper saboteur must master the art of personal camouflage. Using a bushy camouflage suit and available materials, this soldier becomes virtually invisible. Like science fiction, but it's actually a fully operational technology known as the railgun, which has been around since World War I. Essentially, it's a type of kinetic artillery that propels a projectile using an electromagnetic field rather than explosive substances. A railgun consists of two metal rails connected to a power source. Before firing, only the initial segment of the rails is energized. When power is supplied, it completes the circuit, rails, projectile, and rails, turning the system into an electromagnet. This electromagnetic force then pushes the projectile out of the rails at incredible speeds. Some models developed by the US Navy under the Velocitas Iradico program have a muzzle energy of 32 megajoules, which is the equivalent to detonating 5 kilograms of explosives. An armored vehicle-launched bridge is an engineering vehicle designed to transport and deploy bridge structures in combat situations. Usually, the vehicle operates remotely, so the crew doesn't need to disembark. Advancing tanks and other military vehicles through difficult terrain would be nearly unfeasible without these bridge layers. This video shows Dutch military personnel demonstrating the Biber Bridge Layer Tank, based on the German Leopard 1 tank with only slight adjustments. This vehicle, produced since the early 1970s, has a distinctive 22-meter-long bridge with a 60-ton load capacity. The bridge features a telescopic assembly that ensures quick deployment and discreet operation. As the Biber approaches an obstruction, it lowers its blade and raises the arm with the two bridge segments. The lower segment extends forward until it slides out from beneath the upper segment, and they automatically lock together. After that, the vehicle fully extends the bridge, lays it across the trench, and then moves back to a safe distance, making way for other machinery to pass. The entire operation takes just a few minutes, and the Biber requires only a minimal crew, just a driver and a commander operator. In today's world, almost everything has tactical modifications, even fences. There are quick deploy systems that can set up a defensive perimeter in no time, as well as robust barriers designed to withstand heavy attacks.
Ahoy.